All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gonzo and the Judge here on this Monday night, August 15th, 2022. Got a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot of sports stuff happened over the weekend. So we got a lot of stuff to catch up on from Friday, from after we ended the show on Friday. Joined by always the other half of Gonzo and the Judge. The Judge, how you doing? How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Chris? Man, I see that you are a busy man these days. Wow, you're staying busy. That's good. You know what? Productivity is a great thing. It's always good to stay productive. It's self-rewarding. It's a great thing. So, hey, I love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. And we're doing our thing over here on this show. So it's wonderful, man. It's wonderful to be here. It's a nice Monday. A bit cooler today. I was just outside in the backyard
Oh,
earlier, and it felt really, really nice outside. I was getting some fresh air, felt kind of crisp. I even took a picture of the neighborhood, kind of, and everything, as you might have seen. But yeah, my day's going well. Let's do what we do best. Let's talk sports. And for all the graphic tee lovers out there, I got a pretty cool one on today. Actually, it's a pretty unique one. It's Michael Jordan, and it says "Back to the Money," so it's kind of like a Back to the Future
okay.
parody kind of shirt. I thought I'd throw this on today. Didn't wear the J's that match it behind me, but in my Crocs today, I kept it real simple. Sometimes it's too hot to put on tennis shoes. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
It
Oh
gets
yeah.
too hot to wear sneakers sometimes.
Yep. I got some. I guess they call them slides now.
Oh,
We, I just always called them fucking sandals, but I guess they call them slides now. So that's what well, usually I have house shoes on because I don't leave the house very often anymore. To be honest with you,
mhm,
just because I'm always hurting I don't have great balance. I have to use a cane to walk, so I I don't leave very often. Usually, about the only time I do leave is when I got wrestling shows or something going on like
right,
that,
right.
or
Something
like
or a
yeah,
doctor's appointment maybe, or
yeah.
maybe a trip to the grocery
And,
store.
and, and that's why, because some people go, man, you're doing a lot of shows. You might spread yourself too thin. But like I explained to the guy the other day over the weekend, I was talking to. I said, I understand what you're saying. I said, but this is what I said. I was used to working. I worked since I was 14 years old. I've had a job, so I was a plumber was what was doing. Now, well, not now, but up to like 2 years ago. Well, then I just got, I got taken from me. So then I was just sitting here by myself all the time. So
Right,
doing this, it was good for me. It got me going again because I was just getting here kind of depressed because I felt like wasn't doing nothing for my family because I was hurting. Couldn't really I lost all my strength. But then I started doing this, and this gave me I don't know just something to do that kept my mind, and it kept made me feel like I was doing something, not just sitting here just wasting away. You know what I mean?
right. Well, sports helps you maintain your sanity. So, I mean,
Oh yeah.
talking sports is a good thing. It's a form of therapy for some people. For some people, it's something to do for fun, like a hobby, and then for others, they do it for a career. But I do it for all three because I love it. It's a form of therapy, and one day
Yep.
it'll be another source of income, hopefully. But first and foremost, I do it for the love. What's up, Dustin?
Yeah, what's up, Dustin? Yeah, first and foremost, I do it because I love talking sports. And dude, I'll tell you what, doing this, talking sports, and 'cause like when I first started, I was just doing my stuff. You know what I mean? And then I had a guy reach out to me, or I saw a post about ASAP was looking for people.
Hmm. And that's how you ended up networking, and then you
And then
started meeting more
yeah, so I
people
went. So that's when
through
I came over to ASAP, and now, dude, I've made a lot of new friends. So that's what's been really cool about it to me is not only am I getting to talk sports and do something I love to do, but I'm meeting some good people and making friends. Just like you
Right,
said earlier, hey,
right.
you and Tony need to hook up. We definitely will because I didn't know we lived that what I mean
Mhm.
that close together.
And Chris, that's what sports does. It brings us together. It unifies us,
Glenn
as people. So
Glenn says, "What's up? How's it going, Glenn?"
What's up, Glenn? I mean, it's something far
And
less
you're
serious than other things that go on in our world. And you read current events, you see things going on politically, you see things going on with gun violence and senseless act of violence. Sports is not as serious, but it's an escape. It creates a distraction that is very much needed for all of us.
and see that's why when you say that right there, that's why I don't. I wish there was a. That's why I would hate when people start putting politics into sports because you're 100% right. Sports to me is like an escape. It's something I could if I'm having a bad day and something's just in my head messing with me. I could sit down and watch a basketball game or a football game, and at
Right,
least for them 2 or 3 hours, I'm concentrating on that and and I'm not thinking about the weight of other stuff that's on my shoulders. It's a like you said, it's an escape. It's a way to I don't know. It's my way to kind of chill.
right. Block everything else out.
Yep. And
You know,
Glenn, you're 100% right. I love it, and it's life. I mean, that's what I do every day is watch. I mean, it's sports. And I miss my son being young and taking him to watching him do all his sports. Oh, let's see, Dustin has some big news. Big news on my front. Mike Hughes and I brought back my old podcast, Chicago Sports HQ Chatter.
that's
And that will
wonderful.
run every Monday. Also, I have a special edition podcast Thursday with Cubs prospect
Oh,
Matt
that's
Mervis.
awesome. Congratulations. That's super
Hell
awesome.
yeah! Congratulations, Dustin. Hey, if you guys ever want a guest on your guys' podcast that you're doing with Mike, just hit me up. I'd be honored to come on and talk with you guys. I want to thank Dustin too, real quick before we get started. I want to plug that. Biggest shout out to Dustin. Me and him started a baseball podcast this morning. Well, podcast, YouTube show, all around around the bases. And I got great response today. We got great views on it this morning. It's Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. You can find it on the Gonzo Sports Room network at YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So come check that you like baseball, come to watch me and Dustin talk about some baseball. I'll tell you what, Dustin, he's a great dude to talk about baseball with. He loves the game. And he's real knowledgeable about it, and I really enjoy talking baseball with him.
He knows his stuff.
What's up, Dante? Coach
What's up,
Dante.
coach? Dante's a great guy too, man. He's a lot of he's a
That
lot of fun as well, man. I love chatting with him about sports. So thanks for
who
tuning in. My friend, my Houston brother out there in Houston, man,
who
doing
Dante?
yeah, Dante.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to talk. I haven't got a chance to talk with him yet either. I think that would be interesting to get a chance to talk with him. Uh, Glenn
Reggie.
Richardson, you're exactly right. Reggie Miller and Knicks playoff games will block it out. Yes, you turn on a Reggie Miller and Knicks ball game, you ain't thinking about nothing else about that moment.
Oh, that one comical moment where he literally took his gum out of his mouth and threw it at Spike Lee,
And then the iconic.
and then gave him the iconic choke gesture.
Have you seen? Have you seen my graphic tee that it's like the
I
body
saw
of
that.
Reggie that
Yeah,
has that?
you wore it several times.
Yeah,
I like that one.
my son got it for me for Christmas a year or two ago. I love it because he knows Reggie Miller is my favorite. He's my favorite basketball player of all time, of course.
I have one similar to yours, actually. The only difference is purple and it has Shaq. And it features Shaq on the graphic tee. You don't really see his face, you just see his head and the jersey that he's wearing. You don't really see Lakers. It
Yeah.
just looks like it says Lakers on the jersey.
That's how mine is. It
Right,
don't say
Right. It's a great drawing, a
yep,
great painting of the player. And you see him gesturing in the sky. That was the gesture from game 7 of the 2000 Western Conference Finals. Remember when Kobe lobbed it to Shaq?
yep.
Well, that was Shaq's reaction following that dunk.
Okay. What's up, Eddie? Thanks for
What's up,
joining us,
Eddie?
Eddie. Eddie's always in the chat. I love it.
Yes, he's
He
consistent.
said
He's
my
always tuning in.
look. He said my night ain't right without Gonzo and the judge. Well, hey, we appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
Honestly, we really do. We
Really
appreciate everybody that watches. But let's go. Let's jump right into it. Friday night,
let's dive into it, baby.
we find out Tatis Jr. is suspended for 80 games for violating the PED policy in Major League Baseball. He's saying it was some kind of medicine that he took for a ringworm. And it could be, but here's my thing on it, real quick, and then I'll let you speak on it, Judge. But I think it could have been. It could very well be why he said it was from the cream or whatever, because some of them creams do have steroids and shit in them. But here's my problem with it: if you're an athlete and you're making millions of dollars, there's a list that the NFL gives you of substances that you cannot put in your body.
Right.
As an NFL player, as soon as they give you that list, you should take that list to your doctor, whoever your personal doctor is going to be, or and give them that and make sure they have that list and say, hey, look, whatever you got to treat me for, it can't have none of this in it, because people are trying to do this too you know what I mean? It happens too often where, oh, it was a medicine, or it was a tainted supplement, or this. It just gets old because the same excuses over and over. But yeah, you give the doctor the list and then you're done with it. Because then if something happens, then it's the doctor's fault, and then you do have a leg to stand on. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. I'm with you on this. You gotta know what the heck you're putting in your body. I mean, you gotta educate yourself about these medications, what's going into your body. You know, you have to be very mindful of that. And of course, we know how irresponsible Fernando Tatis Jr. can be. I think we learned more about him after that motorcycle accident. That's why he was on the injured list in the first place, because of that. And you heard AJ Pillar call him out. He wasn't too thrilled about it. He called him out and said that this is a man who lacks maturity. And it shows that he's very immature, that he still has some growing up to do. But I hear from people, and I heard from other people that in the people that's in his circle say that he's a me guy, a hey, look at me guy. You know, it's always about Fernando Tatis Jr. and not the team. And you've seen Manny Machado go at him before. There was a heated, confrontation between those two in the dugout. They had to be separated. They came nearly close to blows, and you could see Manny Machado blowing his head off, going off on the guy, going on an epic tirade in the dugout. That right there was a demonstration of what is going on within that organization, what's going on inside the locker room. It's quite obvious that Fernando Tatis Jr. is not a leader. Now, look, what he brings to the game is incredible. He has the swagger. He's a flashy name. He has the flair. He brings the excitement. He brings the intensity. He is, considered a one-of-a-kind player. But it's really sad now that this one dreadful mistake is going to follow him for the rest of his career. This one poor decision, now that he got busted for PEDs and now that he's serving this 80-game suspension, this is a mark on his legacy. This is the type of stuff that's damaging to your career. And this is the kind of stuff that can also keep you out of the Hall of Fame. Now, I had a lot of people telling me that David Ortiz got into the Hall of Fame, which he did. So he kind of broke the barrier for steroid users, in a sense. You can say that. So there is a chance that Fernando Tatis Jr. can make up for this, but he got a long way to go before he can even consider making up for his mistake, that he could still get into the Hall of Fame. But I find it very, very hard after this to see him get into the Hall of Fame. And I know it's still early in his career. And another thing with him, he has to stay healthy. You know, and a lot of people are clowning him now. You see these memes blowing up on social media. I'm surprised the internet, I'm surprised that didn't break the internet. Because everyone is talking about him. And, for all the wrong reasons. He's getting publicity for all the wrong reasons. And it's just bad. I mean, he really disappointed a lot of people. He disappointed the fans in San Diego. He disappointed myself. He disappointed a lot of baseball fans who really admired him and who still may admire him and who will sooner or later forgive him. It might take some time to get over, but this is one of those, that's going to be one of those smears that's just going to be that might be there permanently. Like, it's going to be hard to erase what has been done. I think you're on mute.
Yeah. But no, like Dustin, said, the dude makes $38 million a season. Hire a personal doctor for $1 million a year and give him that list and be done with it. Then Eddie said Chad Mendez also got popped. So Chad Mendez also got popped for substances in the cream he was using. Yeah, I mean it's happened before. That's what I'm saying. You got to make sure you give your doctor a list. And they were talking about if they get fined or not. But listen to this. Since signing that deal, thank you. Since signing that deal, Tatis will have missed 223 games and played in just 98 games.
That's insane. That's incredibly insane.
His legacy has been
Alfred Eddie,
tarnished.
I think his legacy has been tarnished. Anytime someone is caught for PEDs in baseball, it does tarnish your legacy.
The thing is, though,
it really does.
I think he can build his legacy back up because he's so young for one.
Yeah.
So if he keeps playing that if he gets healthy, plays on a team, don't do stupid shit off the field to get hurt, and puts up great numbers, and that team starts winning. He starts winning. People will start forgetting what happened all those years ago. I mean, they start forgetting it a little bit more. So I mean, if he goes on a run, gets on a team, and they start winning, and he's a big part of it, I think eventually he could change his legacy because some people start forgetting a little bit about 15 years or 10 years ago he tested positive.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think it all depends on what he does from now.
True.
From now on.
And winning cures everything, right? So if you do start winning, and let's say you have a historic year where you're just having a monster year and you're putting up ridiculous numbers, yeah, everyone's going to forget about that. And then those same people who were putting their thumbs down, they're going to be putting their thumbs up. And those same people who put their camera phones away for a few seasons because they're angry with what went down, they're going to be the same people pulling their camera phones back out and taking pictures if he does something great on the field, if he does something legendary, But here's the problem that I have. Why would you not use the resources available to you, by the San Diego Padres? Why would you not use the resources, and why would you jeopardize your legacy? Why would you damage your public image? And instead, you decide to go outside, the source for treatment. I don't understand that one.
Yeah, Dustin says there needs to be a clause in these contracts where if you're suspended or hurt for non-baseball related activities, you pay back the franchise for every game missed. Yeah, I agree. I did hear that the Padres could have. I don't know if they can now. I don't know if they've waited too long. But I know they at one time they could have voided his contract because there was a clause in his contract about not non-baseball injuries. But I don't know if they can still do that now or not because I don't know how far back you can go. But I know at one time they could have voided some of his contract or all of it because of that.
Well, there is a great feeling of disappointment, when it comes to this story. A lot of people are upset in San Diego, from fans to the upper management.
I think he's done in San Diego.
Hey,
I think he's done in San Diego.
so you think they'll package a deal?
I think if not this, well, you can't do it this year, so probably in the off season or something, they'll get rid of him. They signed Soto now, and they got Soto for 3 years, and then they'll look for somebody to add
They'll probably invest in him long term, maybe.
Yeah, and then they'll try to add some pieces with you have Soto, you'll still have Machado. I mean, you still have a good lineup in that order. You know what I mean? Especially if they can get a good bat, if they get rid of him. But I just think he's done there because
I think AJ
it's going to take a lot of money, and I don't think the Padres don't think he is mature enough.
He's not.
So I think the Padres are going to say, "Hey, we just picked up Soto. We're going to have to pay him. He don't have so far he don't have that baggage. So let's go ahead and get what we can for Tatis. Cut ties with them, and just like I said, you still have Manny Machado. You have Soto. You still have Hader. I mean, you still have a good team. Don't get me wrong. Tatis is an exciting player and an explosive player, but with the team they have, they could tweak that team a little bit, and they could be a contender.
He's also self-serving. He's also egotistical. You can throw those words in there as well, because those two words right there best define him.
Yeah, so that's what I think they'll do. They'll extend Soto and cut ties with Tatis.
I think so too. I think they're going to extend Soto. Well, you know who his agent is, right? His agent is Scott Boras, and Scott Boras is usually not the guy who encourages his clients, to take contract extensions. He rather his clients wait until their contracts expire so they could test the free agent waters and then get, a mega deal. That could be in San Diego. That could be someplace else. But I'm highly confident that the Padres, now with this happening with Tatis, they're going to get a deal done for Soto. I think they're going to make Soto, that cornerstone player to play alongside a guy like Manny Machado.
Yeah, that's what I think is probably going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tatis is just. I think that owner and GM there are done messing with them.
Right. Yeah, and you saw AJ Preller communicate his frustrations.
Yep.
He's very disappointed. He said that this is somebody that you invested your time and money, into, and for him to do something like this, it was just a poor decision.
And to Eddie's point here, most of these high level athletes have their own doctor. So why don't you give that doctor? He's your personal doctor. Why don't you give him that list that has everything on it you're not allowed to have, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
I mean, and then it's like if it's something, and then it's on your doctor, you fire him.
I can see why they're so angry though, because you committed to this guy. Like, this is a huge commitment. This is like being married to someone. That's how big of a commitment this is. And now the Padres have every right to question, the actions of Tatis. They have every right to do that.
Yeah.
I think he owes them an explanation and an apology. I don't know if he apologized yet. I didn't really read more into it. I'm pretty sure he came out with the statement trying to defend why he took it. And, a lot of people's not buying the statement. A lot of people, don't agree with the statement. They think it's full of nonsense, but that's his defense, that he was treating my words. Oh my God. I'm not trying to, you get what I'm saying. Treating
a ringworm. Yep.
There you go. Why did I have trouble spitting that out? But I mean, that to me, that's a lame excuse,
I mean, it very well could have been a cream.
I get it, but
it very well could have been. But here's my thing: it very well could have been a cream that he used. But your doctor or whoever you trust with that stuff should not give you that. They should have that list, so then this don't happen.
Right.
Because I mean, yeah, it could be some kind of, because I know, like, my son, he got, or even I've had it before. You get it wrestling sometimes, and they put a cream on it, and it has usually some steroids and some stuff in it, but I'm just saying that excuse gets old because everybody's starting to use that excuse.
Yeah, well, trust was violated. I will say that.
Well,
trust was violated, and now he broke that trust. Now he has to re-earn it.
But on a more positive note, let's move on to something else here. Let's move on to something a little bit more positive. Rasmussen takes a perfect game into the 9th inning last night. Did you watch any of this, of the Rays pitcher almost pitching a perfect game? And here's what the crazy thing is. Today is 10 years to the day of the last perfect game, and that was Felix Hernandez playing for the Mariners, pitching against the Tampa Bay Rays. Today marks exactly 10 years, and last night Rasmussen almost pitched a no-hitter, or not a no-hitter, a perfect game one day before the 10th year anniversary of it. Took it to the 9th and gave up a double.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow.
And the last one to pitch a perfect game was Felix Hernandez.
On the same exact day?
Today. And that happened yesterday. It would have been one day before.
Wow.
Today marks 10 years from the last time there was a perfect game.
Wow, what a story.
But did you watch any of that game last night?
I didn't watch any of that game, but you know what? I saw the highlights to that game, and I mean, he was, like you said, he was close. He allowed his first base runner when Mateo doubled down the left field line, like you just alluded to. And he was well on his way. It's hard to pitch a perfect game. Like, that's really, really, I don't think people realize how difficult of a feat that is.
Well, it's even harder now because of all the analytics in baseball, where managers want to pull you.
Right.
And once you're getting ready to face the lineup for the third time, they want to pull you, or you get up to 90 pitches, they want to pull you. So you don't see as many even though you don't even see as many no hitters. Now you see the combined no hitters.
And I was just about to say that. That's why you're seeing more combined no hitters. That's more common now because these managers are going to their bullpen. So I mean, yeah, that's incredible stuff. But I mean, it's difficult. But he had a great game. He struck out 7 over 8 and 1/3 innings. The longest outing of his career, because usually this guy doesn't go past 5 innings. And a lot of pitchers in the Rays starting lineup don't go, past the sixth inning because Kevin Cash is an analytical nerd. He pulls his guys out. You saw that in the World Series a couple years ago against the Dodgers. If you look at that World Series in Game 6, what did he do? He came in and yanked Blake Snell.
Yeah.
For the life of me, why would you do that? Because he was completely dominating on the mound. So to see this guy go as long as he did for the Rays and to have a game like that, that's simply incredible.
Yeah, man, you don't see perfect games. We haven't, like I said, it's been 10 years since we've seen one, and I think it's going to keep getting even harder to see one because I think we're getting to an era. It's going to be starting pitchers like 5 innings, and then they're going to start going to their bullpen, and I don't understand it. I think it's if you're
yeah,
you can't just go by numbers. If your starter's in the groove, leave them in the game.
Right. Hey, you know what? I completely agree with you. But what Dustin said below, yeah, that's true. Nobody really know who he is, and a lot of that's because the Rays are not a team that we market as much, right? We don't hear about the Rays that much. It was great to see them in the World Series 2 years ago because I think that helped, marketing a team like that because they're a low budget team. They're a small market team, and they don't get as much praise as some of the other teams around the major leagues, but they win by playing small ball. They win by, developing young players out of their farm system, and they win by calling up people who we don't know who the hell their names are, but they emerge into, top tier talent, which is incredible.
Oh, they have a great development. They have a great developmental system.
Right, and they have great scouting and everything. So yeah, that department is great. It's phenomenal. They do a good job with that. So, like I said, they do a great job. They don't need superstars on that team because one, it's not LA, it's not New York. They don't need superstars. They don't need big name players because they have small name players who have nothing to lose. They don't have the heavy burden on their shoulders to perform at such a high level because people are not really, watching them, and they haven't really placed those heavy expectations on them to perform at such a high level. So they just go out there and play their game, and they shine. And sometimes they become so good that they outshine some of the big name players out there that we're constantly talking about, that we constantly hear about. But Rasmussen, man, he was incredible. He threw 62 of his 87 pitches for strikes. So, I mean, it was just a great outing for him yesterday. And it's too bad that he fell a bit short.
Yeah. Yes, it was too bad because I thought he had it. I was watching it last night.
Well, I thought Tyler Anderson had it too until Shohei Ohtani.
I need to check that because I even looked at
Shohei
that.
Ohtani came up and hit.
Tonight, you had Ohtani versus Castillo. You had Ohtani versus Castillo.
Huh?
Tonight you had Ohtani starting for the Angels, and for Seattle, Castillo was starting.
Matchup. That's a good pitching matchup right there.
Yeah, I don't know if it might be on now. I don't know. Let's see.
I think for Seattle, it's just about getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's on now. It's 2-2. Bottom of the sixth.
Is it nationally televised?
Get this. Oh, it's the bottom of the sixth. Castillo's thrown 96 pitches. He's thrown a lot of pitches.
Ooh, his count is high.
Yeah. It's a 2-2 game. I mean, he still has his team right there, but yeah, 97 pitches you're in the bottom of the sixth. This could very easily. This is probably his last inning. They might bring him out for the seventh if he gets out of this inning, but because there's no outs. Yeah, this is probably his last inning. He'll be probably up to 110 pitches maybe.
Yeah. this probably will be his last inning because I mean you need that guy to stay healthy, and you got to do everything you can do to protect him because you brought him over for that reason to help you finally end your playoff drought.
All right, it's the Yankees, man. What is wrong with the Yankees? They've lost 9 of their last 11 games.
You know, I was going to talk about them tonight on the video, and I'm glad I didn't because I could save my energy for the show to talk about this. Look, the Yankees have fallen into a major slump. I don't know what's going on with this team, but like I told you before, Chris, it's hard to sustain that type of level of success all season long. Usually, when a team comes out of the gates, you know, on fire, and they look like this unstoppable force that just can't be beaten, they usually, you know, kind of unravel a bit in the second half of the season. So it's normal. I'd rather them struggle right now while they're in the month of August as we go into September, because in October, they're going to have to play a lot better than this. They're going to have to play a more consistent level of baseball, you know.
Okay,
And
you want to peak. You want to peak at the right time. So
you want
if
to
you're
peak at
going to
the right time.
if you're going to have a slump, there's no better time than now
Right
because
now.
you definitely don't want to be doing it at the beginning of October and into September.
Right.
I think they'll be all right. They've had a few injuries.
Which is typical for the Yankees.
And they've lost some close games. I mean, every team goes through a rough part of the season.
Right.
Every team does. But now I mean, they need to get back up and play because now they're not in first place no more. So I mean, they're going to have to find it pretty quick because you don't want to get behind the Astros too many games as we head toward the end of the season here.
Yeah, I think what it is, they're just enduring a rough patch right now. This is a grueling marathon. It's not a sprint. So, I mean, it's a long season. The injuries have kind of piled up a bit for the Yankees, but I think ultimately they will be fine and they will find a way to get back in the wins column. There's only one way, and that's by winning games. And you have to win games, but I mean a rough patch is normal for everybody. Everybody deals with it. I mean it's cruel. The game of baseball is cruel. Like I always say, it's unpredictable. We never know how this stuff is gonna go, but I mean there's gonna be some bewildered and frustrated faces. That's just the way it is, especially for Yankee fans who always expect the best, out of their team. They always want their team to win. End of discussion. Yankee fans are spoiled like Laker fans. I mean, it's a spoiled market of fans, and they expect nothing less than a World Series.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They haven't seen a World Series since '09, but they believe that this is their year. They're optimistic that this is their year. And I don't want to say they're delusional because they're not delusional. When you look at the Yankees on paper and what they've done, they look like a World Series team. What everyone was talking about early in the season with the Yankees was their stellar pitching. Their pitching came out of nowhere. No one saw that coming from their starting rotation.
Here lately, their bullpen. Here lately, their bullpen has struggled.
And their bullpen has struggled a bit.
That's kind of been what their problem has been in the last 10 games or so. Is their bullpen hasn't been as solid as it was.
But that's a critical fix, right? Because your bullpen has to be up to par going into October because your bullpen is crucial.
If your bullpen is going to have a rough patch, this is when you want them to have it.
Right. So, I mean, the injuries are hard to swallow right now. The bullpen is struggling to get the outs and to, protect leads and to, stop the runs from happening. That's all got to change in the coming months, though. They're gonna have to get back into the wins column. They're just got to figure that winning formula out again.
Did you see that stat that Dustin put up there? Tampa has been to more World Series over the last 15 years than 66% of the league.
That's incredible.
Yeah, especially with their payroll.
Yeah, and people complain about the high payroll teams always getting in the World Series. See, right there, that's not true. You know, I think those are just jealous-hearted people that can't live with the fact that their team doesn't spend as much as some of these other teams around the majors.
Okay, you ready to talk a little bit of football?
Let's do it.
All right. Did you watch much of the preseason over the weekend?
No, but I did talk about Trey Lance earlier.
Okay, yeah.
And
I actually had him on here. Did what Trey Lance done over in his preseason game? He went 4 for 5 for 92 yards. I saw some highlights. But seeing his performance, did that change your thoughts, or did that change anything for the way you feel about Lance as taking over for the 49ers?
It changes the trajectory, right? Look, now I can see why the 49ers are making the transition from Jimmy G to Trey Lance. Now, I know it's a small sample size, but like I said earlier, this is a team that made it to the NFC Championship game and came up a little bit short of reaching the Super Bowl minus Trey Lance. Now, you insert Trey Lance into the offense, you incorporate him into the offense, make him the starting quarterback, and your team is better. Because why? He's more explosive. He's more athletic. He's widely considered to be a dual threat quarterback. And he's in the right system. I even said this earlier because Kyle Shanahan, it is great when it comes to developing young quarterbacks. Now we can say that he blows it in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's a totally different situation right there, because of his clock management issues.
Yeah.
And not being able to finish games.
Wait. Hold that thought. Hold the Kyle Shanahan thought because
okay, I will.
That goes into the next topic I have wrote down.
I'm getting a little bit off topic there. It's like writing an essay, right?
But no, it worked out great because that's actually what I was going to start with was Trey Lance. Was Trey Lance. So you went right into it, but then you start going more about Shanahan. I'm like, wait a minute, because that's the next thing I wrote down.
Well, I would have failed my essay because I completely lost the thesis statement.
Oh, you're fine. He said,
let's go back to Trey Lance because Trey Lance is the topic of discussion. But, Trey Lance has shown what he can be possibly. He has shown us that he is up for the challenge. We have to see a little bit more, but just from that small sample size, I mean, he was flawless. I thought his first showing was absolutely spectacular. He put up some eye-popping numbers, and he clearly made it be known that he is the future of this 49ers team. And I think the 49ers are looking into the future. They're trying to see what they have in this guy, and if he can be, that franchise quarterback moving forward. They drafted him high for a reason. They obviously saw the potential in him. They obviously want to give him a chance, and now Kyle Shanahan is handing him the keys to the 49ers offense.
Yeah. Well,
now the 49ers are clearly embarking on a new era.
Yeah.
by handing it over to Trey Lance.
Yep. Yeah, Dustin, you did. Dustin said Friday you better be sold on Lance. He's going to have a monster year. I'll be honest. I didn't see it live, but I watched the highlights, and he made a couple real good throws.
Oh, he did.
I'll give the dude. I'll give the guy some credit. I'm not going to say I'm 100% sold on him yet, but I was impressed with what I saw just because I haven't seen much of him because it's been a while. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
He didn't play his last year at college. Came in the NFL. Didn't play much last year, so it was the first time really getting to see him, and I was impressed. But
Yeah, that's the
I want to
thing.
see a little bit bigger sample size before I will say I'm 100% sold.
Right.
But I will say, he looked he looked better than what I expected him to look, and it's going to be fun to see how he progresses over the season.
And that's the thing, right? He hasn't played a ton of football. So expect there to be some bumps in the road because there will be some bumps in the road. He will have growing pains. He will make some mistakes. But the hope is that he learns from those mistakes. He's going to turn over the football. He's going to have some embarrassing moments where he fumbles the football and turn things over.
Did you see that? Stat guy says, remember, Lance never had a turnover in college.
Yeah, but this is a different animal now. We're talking about the NFL. You're playing with big boys now.
And Rudy Campos, thank you. We appreciate you watching.
Thank you. What's up, Rudy? Oh, that's my guy right there, Rudy. Rudy's tuning in on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube.
Yeah, he said, keep up the good work, guys.
Thanks, Rudy. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for watching.
Wrong one. Violet.
Hi, Violet. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button, like and follow us on Facebook. Hey, I'll tell you what, our first week of the show last week, I thought it went real well. So I'm looking forward to it. The numbers look like they're going in the right direction. So hey, even if they aren't, I'm having a good time, and I think you are too. So hey, that's all that really matters anyway.
That's all that really matters. Yeah, I'm having a blast doing this show. I really am.
But what I was going to ask you about Kyle Shanahan is Kyle. Do you think Kyle Shanahan is overrated as a coach?
I don't think he's overrated. I hear people say that all the time. Well, the reason he got the job is because of who his dad is, or he's only talked about because his dad was a legendary coach. Enough with the nonsense, man. The guy's a great play caller, and I think people overlook that in what he's accomplished. Like, are you kidding me? This guy took them to the NFC Championship game. I mean, what more can you really ask for? Look, they weren't going to beat a very good Rams team. I mean, the Rams were stacked and loaded, and they did it without a solid quarterback. That's no disrespect to Jimmy G, but Jimmy G is not anybody spectacular to me. I mean, he holds it down. Yes, he wins football games, but to me, he's more of a game managing quarterback. And I know you kind of disagree with me on this, Chris. But to me, Jimmy G is not a Drew Brees. He is not an Aaron Rodgers. He is not a Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't think he's at that level, but I think he's a quality starter.
But Shanahan led that team to the NFC Championship game, and everyone wants to call him overrated. I think where he goes wrong is his decision making in the fourth quarter. Some of those boneheaded decisions have cost his team. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's not good at managing the clock.
So I don't think he's overrated, but I think another reason you hear people say that he's overrated is because the two collapses, two kind of collapses in the Super Bowls. You're up as a coordinator, you're up 28-3.
Yep.
And somehow you lose that game, and your play calling was terrible in the fourth quarter.
It was questionable, right?
And then the other Super Bowl, you were right there, and you lost it.
It's questionable.
A terrible defensive play. You let Tyreek Hill get deep on you, And they took a bad call there at the end of the first half when they called offensive pass interference on Kittle. It would have been a touchdown. They called offensive pass interference. And I didn't think it was offensive pass interference. But
Right. No, I don't think he's a bad coach at all. I actually think he's a very, very good coach. I think he has reshaped the culture in San Francisco. You know, that team has a winning record with him at the helm. I think he's done a terrific job considering what he has, on his roster. He's done a fairly good job.
Yes, Eddie. Thank you. Everybody, listen to Eddie. Hit that like button, everyone. I like how Eddie is thinking here.
Thank you,
Eddie. Eddie said, "I just noticed your shirt, Judge. Who's the person on it?"
It is Michael Jordan, and it says "Back to the Money" with the famous car in the background from Back to the Future.
The DeLorean.
Put that McLaurin. There you go.
I saw one. I saw one up close about. It's been about a month. No, about 2 months ago at a car show here in town, and this guy had a DeLorean. Oh man, it's nice.
Some dude turned one into a boat in San Francisco and was riding it on the cove behind Oracle Park.
Eddie said, "Nice."
Thank you, Eddie.
But yeah, I don't think he's overrated. Like I said, I think he's done a pretty good job there in San Francisco, and I don't think he has anything to really worry about.
I think his job is safe for now. Unless the team continues to collapse year after year, then you would have to make a decision on whether or not you want to move forward with him as your head coach. But I think right now, John Lynch knows what he has in Kyle Shanahan. He knows that, he has turned it around for the organization, that he has gotten the team very close. They just have fallen a bit short.
Yeah. Yes, they have just a bit short. I think he'll get that Super Bowl. I think he'll get one.
I think so too. I think so too.
I really do. I think he'll get one at least.
They are destined for success with all the pieces that they have on that team. And people forget too, they have a pretty good defense too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, their defense is real good. Yes. Dallas Cowboys commit 17 penalties.
Oh God.
17 penalties in their preseason game over the weekend. Yes, you heard me right. 17.
So what did people think? That being that this is a new season, that was just magically going to disappear? That they were just going to be a better disciplined football team and not turn over the football? No, because as long as Mike McCarthy is the head coach, that team is going to be a very undisciplined team. They are a mess.
Hey, Judge, look, before we move on, just because another topic came up, Shanahan is on the hot seat and has been for 4 years, or been on the hot seat for years. Beating Green Bay saved his job last year.
I don't know.
And my dad said, "What if they only win 6 games? Here's my opinion on it, and I've said this before. With excuse me, with the 49ers moving on to Trey Lance. If they don't have a good year this year, if they get rid of Jimmy G and they have a bad year with Trey Lance, I think Shanahan is maybe gone, and I also think Lynch might be gone. And I think both of them have done good jobs, but I think them getting rid of Jimmy G and going all in on Trey Lance, if that don't work out, it could cost them their jobs. And I know you've heard me say this before with me and you were talking. I really do. I think that this is one of them decisions that they've made that if it don't pan out, there's going to be some changes made.
Right. Nah, I don't know. I wouldn't say he's on a hot seat. I mean, we'll know more this season once we see how the 49ers play. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say he's on a hot seat.
Dustin said, take away the 12-4 season, and Shanahan is 11 games under 500.
Yeah, but look what he's guided the team again. He's guided that team to the NFC Championship game. I mean that not
My
every
dad
coach.
said he thinks Lance is a big mistake. I'm still on that side too. I still kind of, I ain't gonna lie, Lance impressed me a little bit with what he done over the weekend. So I have to give him some credit, but I'm still not 100% sold on him.
If he doesn't play well, though, you can always go back to Jimmy G.
Well, not if they get rid of Jimmy G.
Don't trade him.
I don't think that. I don't think.
You think they're gonna move him? You think they're gonna trade him?
Yeah, I think he's gonna end up somewhere else. I don't know exactly where. I still think that Seattle would want him, but 49ers probably won't do that because it's the same division. So I'm not sure who would go after him. Is the problem, especially this late? You know what I mean? It's different if it was earlier in the off season, but hell, we're 27 days before regular season starts. So, yeah, that's what we had said the other day. Jimmy G to the Jets and get reunited with Saleh.
Yeah,
over there at the Jets. So you could see that happen, especially.
I could see that happening too,
especially with Zach Wilson having an injury.
Yep. Your dad said the Saints would be a good fit.
Yeah, I think they would too with the weapons they have.
I think they're big on Jameson Winston though. Like I said, if Jameson Winston takes care of the football, he was
playing good last year before he got hurt.
He played good before he got hurt. Yes. So I think they're fine with Jimmy G. I mean, Jameson Winston.
Dustin says, I bet my mortgage on that Lance will be an MVP candidate in 3 years or less. Hey, he might be. That's what I said. I'm not going to say he's not going to be good, but I'm just saying I'm not 100% sold on him yet. But I said he likes Winston too. Yeah, Winston was playing good ball last year. I think he'd only had like what three or four turnovers or something like that. 3 turnovers when he got hurt.
And he has shown, and as he has aged, he has grown up. He has shown flashes.
And I think being around Sean Payton really helped him. I think being around Sean Payton and Drew Brees, getting to learn under Drew Brees like that, I think really helped him a lot.
Right, because he has developed into a leader, and I think his teammates have gravitated towards him.
Because he could throw the ball. It wasn't that he couldn't throw it or he can't make the throws. It was just he would make some dumb throws. And it was like
right. And that would lead to interceptions. And this is a guy who threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions when he was in Tampa. Which is very impressive.
Yeah,
30 interceptions and 30 touchdowns.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Lance has a pretty strong arm. He does have a pretty strong arm.
Oh yeah, he does. He was showing out, and he really did showcase his arm strength. But can he do it during the regular season? Yeah, and can he do it consistently? And is it sustainable?
I don't know. We're going.
Is it sustainable? We'll find out.
We'll find out here in about a month.
Find out more, right?
Here in about a month, we'll definitely find out. But back to the Cowboys. 17 turnovers, dude, in one game.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But it's not surprising, right? I mean, look, Mike McCarthy's turbulent tenure as a head coach should have come to an abrupt end, but it didn't. This man still has a job, and as long as he is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to continue to play undisciplined football. I have said this countless times that the fans have exceedingly grown frustrated, with McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. Because the Dallas Cowboys, they come in each week unprepared, not ready to play disciplined football, and they continue to shoot themselves in the foot because they make so many mistakes, and they constantly give the other team an opportunity to capitalize on those mistakes, and that's why they can't really ever get anywhere. I mean, and the Cowboys are going to continue to be, like this as long as he's the head coach. I don't see no other way around it, really. I mean, it's pretty crazy that Cowboy fans, and this is not a shot at Cowboy fans, but they believe year after year after year that this is their year, and it's not. And when you have a guy who makes boneheaded decisions, Mike McCarthy, the offensive coordinator, everybody that's part of that organization, it's not going to go well for you, and it hasn't boded well for these Dallas Cowboys because the offense struggles, and the play calling, like we saw last year in the playoffs, doomed the Dallas Cowboys, and that's why their season came to an end. But to me, McCarthy is a sad and pathetic excuse of a head coach. And the Dallas Cowboys are not going to win diddity squat as long as he's the head coach. But hear this out. They're going to hold on to Mike McCarthy and let him continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. And why is that? Because Jerry Jones likes the yes man.
Well, you know what I think is going to happen? And Eddie, you're a Bears fan. He said he could sympathize though with the Cowboys fan, but I think McCarthy's going to be gone if they don't have a good year this year. If they don't at least make it to the playoffs and win a playoff game, I think he's going to be probably out the door. And I think Sean Payton is going to end up being eventually. Sean Payton's eventually going to be the Cowboys coach.
They should hire him.
I really believe that here in between the next couple of years, Sean Payton's going to be the Cowboys coach.
I mean,
if they have a bad year, if they have a bad year this year, and if they don't make it to the playoffs, win a playoff game, I think McCarthy might be out the door this year, and you see Sean Payton in for next season. But I think McCarthy is really. I honestly think McCarthy's on the hot seat because I think Jerry Jones really wants Sean Payton.
Well, yeah, I think so too. But he's going to have to let him coach. He's going to have to let him coach the team. Well, and Jerry Jones. Yeah.
Sean Payton isn't the guy, kind of guy that's just going to be a yes man. Him and Jerry they might go at it, but they'll go at it, but business will still get taken care of.
Right, and he's going to have to let him come in and do his thing, and he's going to have to sit back and be the owner. You can't be the damn owner, the GM, and the coach. It doesn't work that way. That's why you hire someone to be the head coach.
He's I'm a Bears fan by circumstance. All right, I get it.
But I mean, the Cowboys under Mike McCarthy has showed lack of preparedness, and they have played sloppy, undisciplined football. And I mean, it's not going to get any better. With him around, it's not going to get any better.
Yeah,
you know what the crazy thing is too? The Dallas Cowboys are one of the most talented teams in the NFL.
Now this would be interesting. If San Francisco has a bad year and they get rid of Shanahan, could Peyton end up in San Francisco? That's an interesting thought because
that's an interesting one. Well, Peyton's gonna be a hot commodity.
Oh yeah, if he decides he's coming back, he's gonna be a hot commodity because.
Well, if there's a coaching vacancy and there's a opening,
there's some of these franchises. There's some of these franchises that'll fire their coach.
He's definitely going to be a front runner for several NFL openings if that happens.
Oh yeah, definitely. Was it us? Was it this show where we were talking about the NIL affecting the purity of the games?
Yes.
Weren't we talking about
I
that
think,
Friday toward the end of the show?
or did we talk about that in the show prior to that? I can't remember.
I don't know. I had it wrote down here. So I think it was something that we said we was going to come back to, but I can't. I don't remember 100%. To be honest. Just being honest, but it's wrote down. It was wrote down on the paper on the sheet here. I forget what we were talking about when we started talking about the NIL, about college players start playing for the money, and instead of the love of the game, because where you watch like little league and
Well,
usually
that's
college
gonna
sports, it's
happen.
always been for the love of the game. Now
That's
with this
gonna happen.
NIL, it's going to it's going to change.
It's
It's
gonna
going to
change
change a lot of things,
right.
and that's why I think there needs to be some kind of regulations. There has some kind of structure, or I think we're headed toward a mess.
Oh yeah. Well, when money's involved, yes, that's what usually happens, right? Things become chaotic and things become out of place, and that's what you're gonna see with college football, unfortunately.
See, I was right. We talked. Eddie said we talked about it last show. I thought we did. I
Okay.
thought that's why I wrote it down. I thought we talked about it toward the end of the show. I forget what brought it up. It might have been. So I think somebody might have asked that question. It might have been Eddie asked the question. But I remember we said we'd talk about it, and I wrote it down, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was going on. But yeah, I do think NIL could cause some problems down the road. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for the players getting some money. I have nothing against that. I just think there needs to be some kind of structure, because you're going to get where it's all about the money and the product is going to start suffering, and then you're going to run into problems.
Right. Oh yeah, it's gonna come to the point where the product is gonna start to suffer, and this is gonna become an utter disaster.
I mean,
It's gonna happen,
well,
Chris. Like it's
hey,
inevitable. It's gonna happen.
what makes the NCAA basketball tournament March Madness? What makes March Madness great?
The fact that it's sudden death, one and done
Well,
tournament.
that and you see these guys putting it all on the line for their school and for their team.
Right,
You know
right,
what I mean? It's all about. It's not all
right.
about me. It's about it's about everybody.
It's about
And
it's about
and now that you're getting more money involved, that can change that's going to change that atmosphere,
right.
and it's going to be interesting to see if the tournament still holds like the same mystique after this all this happens.
Yeah, that will be interesting, and we will know more about that too in the coming months as well. But I really, really hope it doesn't change the narrative of college basketball, or it doesn't, change the way a player feels
Yep.
about, the game. Because you have to have some kind of passion for it. And that's what I like about college sports. It's just a different atmosphere. It's a different feel, and these players, man, they play for pride.
Yeah, well, that's why I'll be honest. I like going to watch high school sports because they
Yeah,
play hard. Yeah, they might make some mistakes. It might not be a perfect game, but they're giving 110% the whole
right.
time. But no, Eddie, you're right. It is prevalent in boxing where these guys want to demand these high numbers to fight, and then we don't get to see some of the great fights that we could see. I don't know. I mean, there's a good fight this weekend. I forget who it is now, but we're going to do a watch along for that and for the UFC fight this Saturday night.
Oh,
So
are you?
yeah, so come join us for that 10 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. We're doing watch along and live reaction to the UFC pay per view on Saturday night.
Cool,
So
cool,
come
cool.
join us for that.
Some good stuff right there.
Oh no, yeah, that's 100% true, Eddie, and that's what
Yep.
was one of my reasons because he said your brain is on the line with some of these physical sports.
Yeah,
And,
you're seeing it. You're seeing some of these retired NFL players now
yeah,
suffering from dementia, and they
yeah.
have head
No, I
trauma.
agree. I agree. That's what one of the things I say is we need to shorten the preseason.
Right.
Why have these guys out there taking that risk when honestly it don't matter? Yes, it does for the younger guys, but not your veterans. So why, to me, play one or two, maybe two preseason games, so the guys can fill out the rosters. Hell, if you want to let them have more guys on the roster that they can have at practices and stuff, or something like that. But shorten it because you already added one game. They want to add another game to the regular season, and I mean, yeah, these guys make a lot of money, but hey, they do put their body on the line every time they go out there, especially in the sport like football,
Right.
some of the stuff like that.
Contact sport, right.
That said, he thinks the boxing is at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Sorry, what was that, Jonathan?
I said football is a very violent sport, and a lot of these players now, these retired players, they're suffering from dementia and other type of head trauma. Now it's really sad to see.
Oh yeah. Well, before we get out of here, does the judge have any final thoughts on this Monday evening? Well, man, it's Monday evening for you.
It's Monday evening here.
Get this. It's Monday evening for you. It's Tuesday or Monday night for you. It's Tuesday morning for me.
Yep.
It's 12:18 my time.
Well, in a few more hours, about 3 more hours, it'll be midnight here.
I still have by that time I might be done. I might be done getting stuff ready for tomorrow's show.
I'll be knocked out by then.
By that time, I might be done getting. I might be done getting everything ready for tomorrow's show by about 3.
Nice.
I stay up to about. I can't sleep. My legs hurt and I jerk, and so it's hard to sleep. So I come in here and work on the show.
Well, when do you sleep?
Whenever I fall asleep. It's just hard because it's hard for me to get comfortable.
I can't function. I can't function.
But now I ain't gonna lie. Like Saturday, I was hurting real bad. And I was in bed almost all day, and so I slept quite a bit. But
yeah, I can't function.
It's hard for me to get comfortable, man. My body jerks and
yeah.
So
I can't function at night. I just can't. I have to go to sleep.
Eddie says it's 11 in Chicago.
Yeah, it's Central Time there. You know what? I think the only time I stay up late is when I'm covering a late game and I'm writing an article for it. I think that's the only time I stay up late.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I knew. Damn it, Dad.
No. You never sleep.
Yeah. Eddie said Chris's Batman never sleeps. But look what Dad said because I done it tonight.
He's
he
in
said
the
we're
back
supposed to be doing a Colt show.
He's in the back cave right now.
I did. We're supposed to. Our Colt show was supposed to start at 6:00. Last thing I remember, it was 5:00, and I was watching baseball. And next thing I know, I wake up and it's 20 after 7. So we done the Colt show at 7:30. It was supposed to start at 6.
And you were a little late.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah.
Well, dude, they got me on, man. It's just the medicine I take. If I ain't doing nothing and my legs aren't jerking, I'm out. And when I can sleep, I sleep. Hell, quick story real quick. We went to watch a new Spider-Man movie a couple months ago whenever it came out.
Homecoming.
Me, my son, my dad, my son's fiance, and Eli, we all went. I sat there, ate a whole bag of popcorn during the previews. I maybe watched 5 minutes of the movie, dude, and I fell asleep.
You knocked out in the movie theater?
Oh yeah,
I used to do that. I could do that easily, actually.
My son will try to get my dad to wake me up. My dad said, "No, I ain't waking him up. He don't get no sleep. Let him sleep." Yeah, I woke up at the end of the damn movie.
Yeah, see, I could do that too. If it's a late movie, I will fall asleep in the theater.
This was an afternoon.
I could do that. I could fall. I've fallen asleep several times in a movie theater.
Oh, yeah,
I fell asleep in a club before.
he was. Yeah, I think.
I
I
mean, I
think.
put myself out there now, but I
Yeah.
did. I fell asleep.
Oh yeah.
Part of the reason I fell asleep in the club is because I had, a few drinks and
A little bit too much of that tequila.
but I had my friends with me, so I was fine.
And he said, "Yeah, me too. You have a little bit too much of that tequila."
Yeah, you could say that. Yep.
All right. Well, you got anything? That Batman movie is like 2 hours long. Oh, I haven't watched it yet, but I bet 2 hours. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, Batman movies are long.
You have anything else, Judge?
I want to thank all our viewers for tuning in tonight. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your night to join us for some sports talk. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
The show is doing so well. I am happy about the show's success. We will continue to do this. We will try our hardest to bring the best sports content out there. Not only the best sports content, but we also have conversations like the one we just had, because that brings out the fun and right. And sometimes people want to hear out along with sports, they want to hear a random conversation, and it doesn't hurt sometimes to have those random, off sports topic conversations. It's great.
I'll make a what I'm gonna do. We'll make a Gonzo and the Judge sports talk group, like fan page.
Oh yeah,
On Facebook. We'll do that, and then that way, if people have things they want us to talk about, or they want to share stuff, they can post it right there on that page.
Yeah, we should. And you guys can also check out, I know Gonzo has his own sports page. I do as well. You guys can check me out at the Sports Judge on Facebook. Please follow that. Follow that, guys. Follow and like that page, because I post the links to our shows there. I post my articles that I write. You guys don't be shy. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Check out some cool memes that I post on there. I could be a troll at times. Gonzo, no. But it's all love. It's all love. Nothing personal. If you don't take it personal, it's not that serious. I just like to give people a good laugh. So you guys are more than welcome to follow that. Give it a thumbs up. And also follow me on YouTube. This is also live streaming from my YouTube channel. So follow my YouTube channel, The Sports Judge.
Yes, make sure you follow that. Also, subscribe to the Gonzo Sports Room YouTube page. Hit that like and follow button on the Facebook page. Leave reviews on our Facebook pages. That helps new people see our stuff. Liking the shows helps us a lot too. So please hit that like button. But we appreciate all the support. Like I said, we'll make a Gonzo and the Judge Facebook group. That way you guys can put stuff in there, and stuff you want to hear us talk about, and we'll get in there, look at it, and then get the shows together. But I appreciate all the support on the ASAP. Don't forget to go like the ASAP Sports YouTube page, their Facebook and Twitch pages. We got a lot of talented guys over there. To find me, you can find me usually live about any time on the ASAP Sports Network or on the Gonzo Sports Room channels. I've been doing, like today, I've been doing shows since 9:00 this morning, with only a couple hours, maybe break. But it's been a fun day. But join me tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, for my new baseball show. It's usually me and the stat guy, Dustin Reese, around the bases. Dustin has a doctor's appointment in the morning, so Jay McLovin is going to join me tomorrow morning, talk some baseball. So join us at 9 a.m. Eastern live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. You can also find me at 1 p.m. Eastern on the ASAP Sports Network with the Afternoon Blitz. Come join me. Jay McLovin's on there. Sometimes the judge gets on there. Deontay gets on there. It's usually a fun show. Come check it out. Of course, I have my sports betting show at 3 p.m. Eastern every day, and that's live on ASAP Sports and on the Gonzo Sports Room Network. And I got a new Indianapolis Colts show every Monday and Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you're a Colts fan, come join us for Horseshoe Talk. Tonight was the first episode of it. It went pretty good, so I'm looking forward to Friday for the next episode. So please check that out as well. But that's all I have. You have any? I think we covered everything, didn't we, Judge?
Yeah, we covered it all, man.
All right. Well, you guys have a great night, and we will see you guys Wednesday night.
Yep.
Like
We'll
I
be
said,
back here Wednesday.
I'll be on the
Same
lookout
bat
for
time, same bat channel.
Yeah, and be on the lookout for the Gonzo and the Judge group. I'll get the fan group. I'll get that. If not tonight, it'll be out tomorrow, and we'll get that going for you guys. Don't forget, you can also find us in podcast form: Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us at Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. So you can actually get video on Spotify as well. And you, of course, you can watch the video on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. But we thank everybody for joining us, and we will see you guys Wednesday night. Have a great night and stay safe.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces.